All right, today we're tackling something huge, what might just be the most important rulebook of the 21st century. It's the world's first ever global agreement on the ethics of AI. This is a big one, so let's dive right in.
You know, AI is already everywhere in your life. It's in the shows you stream, the news you read, the routes you drive. And it is evolving at a mind-bending pace. So that begs a massive question. As this technology gets more and more powerful, who's actually writing the rules? Who is making sure it's here to help us and not harm us?
To really get why this rulebook is so critical, we have to understand the stakes. And believe me, they are incredibly high. We're talking about two very, very different futures that AI could create for all of us.
And this really gets to the heart of it, the two sides of the AI coin. On one hand, you've got this incredible promise, right? AI could help us tackle climate change, cure diseases, solve problems we once thought were impossible. But on the other hand, you've got the peril, the very real risk that AI could make inequality worse, bake bias into our society on a massive scale, and even threaten our fundamental human rights. It's a serious balancing act. So this is the fundamental challenge that brought the entire world to the table. How do we get all that good stuff from AI without unleashing the bad? How do we build a future where this incredible technology serves all of humanity, and not just a handful of people at the top?
Well, that massive challenge sparked something truly remarkable, a global effort to sit down and actually write the rules for AI. Let's take a look at what they came up with.
This number, it kind of says it all. 193. That's how many countries managed to come together and agree on a single set of ethical principles for AI. I mean, think about that. In a world that feels so divided, getting that level of unity is a huge statement. It tells you just how important this issue is for our shared future.
And here it is. This is the document. Back in November 2021, all 193 member states of UNESCO officially adopted this recommendation. It became the world's first ever global standard for AI ethics, a truly landmark moment for a technology that is actively reshaping our world as we speak.
So what does a recommendation actually do? It's important to know it's not a binding international law. You can't force countries to follow it. Instead, you should think of it like a shared ethical compass. It's a blueprint, a guide that helps governments find their way through the crazy complexities of AI as they build their own laws. It's like the North Star for ethical AI. Okay, so let's crack this thing open. What's actually inside this ethical blueprint? What are the core ideas holding this whole framework together?
The entire agreement is built on these four foundational pillars. First, and most importantly, human rights and dignity are absolutely non-negotiable. Second, AI has to help our planet, not harm it. Third, it has to be a champion for diversity and inclusion. And finally, AI should be a tool that helps us build a more peaceful, more just world for every single person.
Now, those values are the big why of the document, but the agreement also gives us the how. It breaks those values down into 10 specific principles. We're going to zoom in on 3 that have a massive impact on our everyday lives. First up, fairness. See, AI systems learn from data, and if that data reflects the biases that already exist in our world, around race, gender, you name it, then the AI will not only learn those biases, it can actually amplify them. This principle says no. We have to actively fight that to make sure AI is a force for justice, not a new engine for discrimination.
Next up, one we can all relate to, privacy. AI is hungry for data, and a lot of that data, well, it's ours. This principle acts as a powerful shield. It says our privacy has to be protected at every single stage of an AI's life, from the moment it's designed to the day it's taken offline. It's all about putting us back in control of our own digital lives.
And this might just be the most important principle of them all: human oversight. The message here is simple and crystal clear. A human is always in charge. The document is emphatic that life or death decisions can never be outsourced to an algorithm. There has to be a human in the loop, accountable for that final critical call. Always.
And this quote, straight from the document itself, really gets to the very heart of the matter. No human being should be harmed during any phase of the life cycle of AI systems. That is the bottom line. That's the fundamental promise of this entire global agreement.
So we have these really powerful principles, but let's be real. How do we make them happen? How do we turn this ethical blueprint into actual real-world laws and policies?
Well, the recommendation actually gives everyone a clear action plan. It's a step-by-step guide for governments. It tells them you need to assess the ethical impact of an AI system before it's ever released. It pushes for clear governance, so we always know who's responsible. It demands strong, modern laws to protect our data, and it has a dedicated focus on making sure AI promotes gender equality instead of setting it back.
This really is the essential toolkit for the AI age. It connects those big, high-level values directly to the nitty-gritty work of making laws. But of course, turning this one guide into effective laws in 193 different countries, each with its own culture and politics, well, that's the next monumental challenge.
So for the first time in history, the world has a shared rulebook for AI. The principles are on paper, the action plan is laid out. But this brings us to the biggest question of all. Who's going to make sure the game is actually played fairly? The truth is, that responsibility doesn't just fall on governments. It's on the companies building this tech, and it's on all of us who use it every single day. The future of AI is still being written, and we all get a say in what comes next.